Ryan, I'm curious. This is awesome. You're doing well as an entrepreneur. When did you start? But who or what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
Okay, so very good. Yeah, and thank you. So when I started, I think people need to understand that there's a difference between when an entrepreneur started mentally and when their first business launched, right? Technically, the business or the first, real business. So technically, I launched my company in January of 2020. That's when the company that I own and run now, and which is I'm grateful to say quite successful now, launched in January of 2020, right before the pandemic, right? Perfect timing, of course. But when I started, it goes way back, right? I always had, part of my mind was always entrepreneurial all the way back to when I was a kid. There was always part of me that thought, when I'm a grown up, I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to be an employee. That's not the life for me. I want to be, my own boss, or call it what you will. I want to be the entrepreneur, right? So, I started, I don't even remember when I started. When I was a kid, that's when these wheels started turning. And I studied entrepreneurship, and business and online marketing and all this stuff as a hobby for a number of years while I was working for other people and while I was having other careers. I was in the military. I was a private investigator for a number of years. But as I was doing those jobs, I was learning, learning. And so, it started way back. It grew, it developed, and then in January of 2020, I launched the business, and the business has been, after a little bit of a dip at the beginning of the pandemic, I had a couple of very, honest, about my journey over the last year. I had a couple of $0 months, right? Because of the pandemic and the pivot that was required. I started out as an in-person offline trainer, which became impossible. And I had to pivot my business totally online. And luckily with the tools I had, I was able to do that. And so to answer your question, in kind of a long form, January 2020 is when the business started.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I think you just shared, it starts in the mind. Everything that we want to achieve, it always starts in the mind. I go back and think about Stephen Covey. He talks about begin with the end in mind. And someone once asked Disney, I think before Disneyland was created, oh, you're not going to be here to see it because he was dying or something like that. And he's like, it's already done, right? Like he saw it beginning to end, what it would look like. I think the question to his wife, oh, it's unfortunate Disney wasn't here to see Disneyland. And she's like, he saw it already. So it's amazing to know as entrepreneurs, as people, when you start thinking about it, things start coming into your life that is aligning to that vision that you might have planted way back when. So you said your hobbies entail, looking at marketing and looking at business. And here it is, 2020 came around and you're like, we begin this in the reality right now. So that is awesome. Congratulations. And it's awesome to know that you are well on your way, doing amazing things, helping people along this journey. I know one of the things that you're passionate about talking about is subjective reality. Can you tell us a little bit, what is it and why does it matter?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Subjective reality basically means that no one human being experiences the same reality as any other human being. It's impossible, in fact, for anybody to experience what we might describe as an objective reality, right? I think most people would agree that there's one Earth, and almost all humans are on this same planet, with the exception of a couple floating around in space at any given time. But we're all on the same planet, but we don't experience the same world, right? No two people experience the same world. And the reason for that, when we come to understand it, can be very, very empowering. The reason for that is that, we receive information via our senses. We see things, we hear things, we feel things, we taste things, we smell things. And as that information passes through our five senses, it goes into our mind, right? Into our neurological system, into our brain. But we're not constantly perceiving like every single little thing that's happening around us. We're being bombarded by countless bits of information at any given time, millions of bits of information. And only a fraction of that comes into our actual awareness, right? Only a fraction of that. So like if you even consider the room that you're sitting in right now, your eyes have access to all this visual information, all this stuff that's happening, but you're focusing on me, my face, right? There's all these noises that are happening around us, but you're hearing probably my voice or whatever, if there was another distraction that came up too. And so that, what is filtered out and what actually comes into awareness is controlled by something. And it's controlled by your unconscious mind. It's controlled by your subconscious mind and the processes and patterns. And everything that you've experienced in your life, everything that you've learned has developed your unconscious patterns, which control what comes into your awareness, which creates your subjective reality. Now, this is all well and good and interesting. And I think when people finally hear this, it makes sense. But more important than that is why this is important. Why this is important. And it comes down to seeing opportunities versus not seeing opportunities. When it comes to an entrepreneur, seeing opportunities versus not seeing an opportunity. How could it be that, everybody lives on the same planet, yet some people, get their goals, some people don't. Even within the same city, even within the same school, some people get the jobs, some people don't. Some people start the business as successful, some people don't. When in a sort of oversimplified way, we all have access to similar resources, similar places, similar things, similar information, right? And it's because of the unconscious mind. If you have a belief that money is hard to earn, then your unconscious mind will respect that and show you evidence that money is hard to earn. If you have a belief that it's easy to be a successful entrepreneur, if you apply yourself, your unconscious mind will respect that and present to you all the information that you need to allow that to be your reality. And so it's with hypnosis and NLP as well, that we can go in and we can influence those filters that are happening outside of our awareness so that we do see the opportunities. We do see the potential mate, right? We do see the business opportunities. We do see, the easy path to health, wealth, success, right? Versus our unconscious mind sabotaging us and automatically filtering it out based on our beliefs and values.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. So powerful. And I mean, I love this stuff. I eat this stuff up. But it's really interesting. So, viewers, if you're looking today or later on, this is stuff that you need to hone in on. I think a lot of us have limiting beliefs. I oftentimes talk about mental poverty, and I see it as the lies, the fears, and insecurities that we believe to be, the reasons why we can't. But the truth is that you can, and I think it's working with people like Ryan, that can help you definitely overcome those barriers. And ultimately, you're doing the work, right? It's not Ryan's doing the work for you. You have to do the work. So, Ryan, I think, what you shared here has been really powerful. Tell us, what has been one of the biggest, you talked about the challenge during, COVID and all of these things. What is something you've learned during this time period running your own business?
I've learned so much over the last couple of years running the business and becoming successful. I would say, my advice to new entrepreneurs is be very careful what advice you take and who you choose to model, right? Because there's a lot of people out there working very hard for moderate success. And those are not necessarily the people we want to model, even though they're very prominent on social media and, out there, and we see them. So that's one thing to be mindful of, right? Be very careful, which other entrepreneurs and which leaders of industry you choose to model. And the other thing, as you already said, Chris-Beth, is, we need to bring into awareness what are the limiting beliefs that might have been preventing us from getting what we want in life. Do we believe, a lot of people believe it's hard to earn money or hard to be successful in business. And, your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind will respect that belief. And for you, it will be, right? Not you, but, for those people that have that belief. And if we adopt the belief that this can be easy and fun, I'm not going to say, it doesn't take work. It takes work, of course. But if we adopt the belief that we can enjoy this process and success is attainable, then our unconscious mind is going to respect that as well. So let's adopt that belief. Let's let that be our reality.
I love it. And so talk to us about a win. What is something that you're most proud of in this journey thus far?
I had a very big benchmark on one of my training courses, obviously my main deliverable in my business is running live training courses, and people join me via Zoom, and I teach them all of these wonderful skills. And so, in these last couple of months, I've had this pattern, first of all, of selling out all my courses. All my courses have been sold out, I think, since the beginning of the year, basically, which is amazing. And I'm very, very grateful for that. But beyond that, on my last course that I ran, it was the most international course that I've ever run. Literally, I didn't have two students from the same country. Every single student in my class was from a different country, across 3 different continents, in fact, on my last training course that I ran. And I was super duper proud of that and really excited about it. And I told the class, I was like, you guys are all from different countries. It's so amazing. This is so fun. And I made a post about it on Instagram and all this stuff. And so that was a big win, because I've always felt in my heart I wanted to be an international trainer. And, and I have been technically from the beginning, but, when you have a group literally that could not have been more international, it just feels really good. That was a big win.
Hey, that's awesome. And so any books that you've read along the way, personal or professional, that you'd like to share with us, and why?
Yeah, I think when it comes to hypnosis and the unconscious mind, I really love the work of Milton Erickson, Dr. Milton Erickson. He was a hypnotherapist in the United States. He's passed away now, so the late Dr. Milton Erickson. He operated from 1920 to 1980, nearly every day, and seeing anywhere from 10 to 14 patients per day, or clients per day. Very prolific, incredible work. And so anything, with the name Milton Erickson on it is worth a read. He changed people's minds and changed people's lives through conversational hypnosis, which was amazing and phenomenal, really contributed to this industry. And then if we're talking about business, I really like this book, Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. He's the founder of ClickFunnels, which, is an online sort of software company. But he's got some really great ideas about establishing yourself as an expert and, really providing really good value in order to build your business. So those are two recommendations.
Hey, that's awesome. So my final question for you is, what is something fun epical that you do to express self-love? Fun epical is my word. Fun and epic combined. Great or small adventures, loved, enjoyed, and memorable. What is something you do?
I'm a big travel nut. I'm a big travel nut. Every opportunity I have to get out in the world and see different places and have different experiences. And I've been very lucky. I've had careers that have allowed that and facilitated that. And so that's the thing I'm missing right now, in the new world. Hopefully that's soon, whenever that is. One of the first things will be to get back on an airplane and head back out there. And I encourage everybody, see the world. It's an amazing place.
I would